Today's video is going to be a little bit noisy and a little bit shorter of a video, but I'm going to show you guys how we start our chickens. And I am in our chicken brooder barn that used to be our rabbit barn. I'll show you guys. So basically we've got some rabbit cages. Over here we have a cage that has our roosters that are mean. We're fattening them up, and we're going to actually butcher Saturday, so them will be in there. Tom, the same Tom that's in every video, he's following me around. Over at the end, there's a little run that goes out the back, and it has a door that has a Tom and a hen in it. That area is an area to keep our Toms separated because they fight all the time. And this Tom that's here following me, he's kind of a pain. I don't even know if he breeds anymore, but he's kind of the eye of our farm. Like, he's with us every day. So we kind of keep him and them separated to where he's healthy and not getting hurt. And whether he's any good or not, I'm going to put him outside. Come on, Tom, let's go outside. Come on, buddy. Let's go outside. Come on. Come on. Can you go outside? Come on. Let's go outside. Come on. All right. I'll close him out. He's always in the way. So anyhow, Tom and the other Tom, they fight. So we've made it separate for them. And I have a little area here. And it's just a little pin that has a door that goes out the back. We're able to put them turkeys that are out there in at night, so they're protected. All of our animals are locked in a barn at night, so that keeps everything safe, and we want to make our animals safe. That's the number one thing. I got some really cool stuff to show you guys in here. So there is our very first duck we ever hatched ourselves, and she's sitting on eggs. And then that is also a hen that we've raised ourselves, and she's sitting on eggs. Now that is going to be cool because she is sitting on eggs. And they're not all hers. There are duck eggs and chicken eggs in there, so there's going to be some confused animals. And she's got a big nest of them. So when they all hatch, this little barn will close up, and then underneath, you can see it goes into our actual chicken coop. The hen house we can separate, and we can leave these animals in here to where they're not getting trampled by everything else, and it gives them a good spot. So that's how we do that. Some little cages that were actually from a mink farm, and we got them, and we're going to use them this year for our Catornix quail. And I got a bunch of election signs from a buddy of mine, and he ran for an office, and they work great. So on top of them cages, I'll put them on top so the other birds aren't pooping on top. And you'll see inside of my cages, I use a ceramic tile to set my feeders on so that they're a little more solid than the cages are. And then Tractor Supply sells them, and I'm sure you can get them everywhere else, but they're called Producer's Pride, and they're brooder heaters. We don't use heat lamps. We use these. They use way less electricity, and the birds can get up underneath them. So you can see, like, it's got a different, where you can raise them up at different elevations. And in here we have all of our chicks that we've actually bought that we didn't hatch ourselves this year. And we'll put some that we've hatched ourselves in here as well. But we have some guineas, some leghorns, some cinnamon queens. I don't remember the name of them, but it's a solid black chicken. And you can see one of them's over there, like their beak, their feet, everything, their wattle, everything's black. So they're really cool looking. But inside these runs, I use election signs to keep the chickens. They will crawl through that 1x2 wire. So on the bottoms, I cut pieces and put across the bottoms where the chicks aren't able to crawl out. And this is how we do it. And we've done it several years this way. I'll close the lid on top of this, and some of our chickens will actually roost on top at night. But this keeps our chickens warm. It keeps them safe. And as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, we can let them start running around in this whole little building. And then as they get bigger, we'll open up the brooder area into the hen house. And then they all have the same run again. So this time of the year, we keep this building packed. Between cold roosters, birds that we actually raise for meat birds, or the little birds that we're hatching, this area it's full of life. I throw straw on the... You can see I got straw on the ground out here, and all the droppings and everything will fall into it. At about every 2 months, usually I come in here and I scoop it all out and I throw it in the compost, and then we start all fresh, and it keeps the odor down, and it keeps it pretty safe for all the birds. And we've done very well this way. We don't lose a lot of birds. We're able to keep them safe. I do use some, I buy some medicated chick food to keep whatever the disease that chicks get out of play, but I actually grind my wheat and corn and I mix it half and half with some of that medicated food. And after I've ran them through about a bag of that food, I'll go to just strictly my seeds and stuff that I've got, and it'll be like mung bean, corn, wheat and sunflowers that we raise, and we'll grind all them up, and that's what we feed our birds. And then once they get big enough that we can let them run loose without getting trampled, we do that, and they work out and they run around with everybody else, and they're eating bugs and greens and ticks plus a little bit of grain supplements, and they seem to be really healthy. We do really well with it. So that's the way our brooder looks. I'm gonna close this up and do the rest of the chores and get out of this room. It's kind of warm in here, so this is how we do it. I'll see you guys here in a minute. I'm gonna go do the rest of the chores. So I got the brooder barn all closed up and everything, and got all the animals fed, and we're about to be done for the day out here. I've got a bunch of fly tying stuff I've got to get done, so I need to get out my room and get that done. So our pigs, they are putting on some weight. They've got a butcher date of May 25th, so we only got them for about a month, and we'll be done with that for the year. And then next year we'll buy some smaller ones. I think they're called coon pigs, and they make a whole lot of tallow, and I think we're going to do that. We don't use any vegetable oil, and we use a lot of tallow, and we use butter and olive oil and avocado oil, and so we're going to try to do that. But I guess that's kind of it. We are planting our garden finally this weekend. I am way behind. I should be shot for that, but we got it pretty well already. Very few weeds. We did have some Johnson grass, and I boiled some big vats of water and dumped on top of it, and it seems that it's killed it. So hopefully we'll be done with that. We won't have to mess with that, and we will get it all in the ground. I'm horribly late, but we had a late freeze this year, and then I had a bunch of crap take place at the same time, so we're behind. But we're gonna have that done. We got some corn in the ground. I showed you guys where I tilled up, so we got some corn in the ground, and we are gonna we got tomatoes and peppers and all the vegetable plants that you start from seeds kind of ready to do that, and we're gonna get all them in the ground on Saturday, and hopefully we'll be able to get one batch of corn in. And then after we harvest it, once it gets to the point we're not worried about cross-pollination, once it actually starts to put on a plant or a cob, once that happens, we're gonna stop that and then plant a new row in another area so they're not cross-pollinating, and hopefully we'll be able to get two different styles of corn grown this year. Our sheep have really done good. This is our little paddock that we just last did, and they're eating it down pretty good, so that's awesome. I enjoy them. They're a really neat animal, and they keep trees trimmed, they keep everything just nice and tidy. So little by little we're turning this thing into what we've always wanted, so hopefully it all comes together and it works out. I am going to get into my fly tying room today. I've got a big order of flies I need to tie and some crappie jigs I need to get done. So if you guys are into crappie fishing, look me up. I tie a lot of crappie jigs, and we have pretty much every kind of fly fishing thing you can imagine. Our website's I'veGotBugs.com. My other YouTube is I've Got Bugs Fly Fishing. Please follow, like, share. If you haven't, in the description is links to my books if you are into humorous outdoor stories. I got a couple of my books that are on there, and I have a new book that is coming out, so I would appreciate you guys supporting us in every way we can to where we can keep this dream coming true. So thank you guys for everything. We'll see you in the next video.